Well, this has a little bit of mix and match, Gemini. Let's start at the very beginning. This is a 10, the 10 of Wands. And as it depicts, it's shedding your burdens. And the 10 is the ending of a cycle. So it looks like you have been releasing a lot of preconceived ideas, habits that don't work for you, friendships that may not give you great pleasure anymore, can't even be one-on-one love relationships. But it looks like it's time for you to lighten your load a little bit more. There's like one or two more pieces of the puzzle, Gemini. Keep going. I know that you have been tested a lot last year and released a lot last year. So now it's to continuing that release. There is one or two things that you're holding on to so tightly that really aren't in line with your growth anymore. So you probably know exactly what that is, Gemini. So take a leap of faith, let things go that you've been contemplating letting go. It looks like you have done all the mental work for it, and now it's just the physical release of these ideas, habits. People can't even mean a job that is becoming very burdenful to you, Gemini. So some changes are in the air. This looks like the last piece of the puzzle, and a 10 is the completion of something. So one more step into your beautiful future, Gemini, and it looks like things will be righted a little bit more, but you're going to have to take the hard road, speak those truths, and make those changes. You have a lot of things coming up in the future, so make room for that beautiful growth. All right, the Knight of Swords. Knights are usually, if it's a person, it depicts someone maybe 20 to 30. Can be someone a little bit more mature on the linear age, but maybe a little bit more childlike in their behavior. This is an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But this may be your ideology that is out of whack with where you want to go, where you want to project yourself into the future. This is feeling more like some old ideas of your own that just aren't working and that you need to release. So it could be a legacy. You know, you were told by your parents this is the way you do it, so therefore you've been continuing, but it hasn't been giving you much joy. And for those of you that are having difficulty with an air sign, this is like a little static in communication. There may be a challenge in a relationship, could be with yourself or another air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. But it looks like there is a little bit of static in communication. I'm not sure if it's from the God of your heart to you, or if it's an actual person. Since this is a general reading, I will put it both out there. So whatever situation pertains to you, Gemini. But it looks like a challenge from an air sign around communication that is kind of keeping you in this effort space. And but it looks like you're pushing through that. You're gaining lots of knowledge. So this is just a temporary situation, Gemini, and either speak those truths, release those legacy patterns and habits that don't work for you, and you'll be moving on into your wonderful future, which it does look like beginnings and endings happening here. The Strength card is above you. It's exactly what it depicts. It's time to gather your strength, say the hard words, and for many of you, it may be confronting a boss in a situation, a friend, something that is not beneficial for you, and it's kind of taking your skills and your energy for granted. So gather that strength, use those words, speak your truth with love and kindness. And it looks like resolution is in the air here. You do have the Death card. It is not around people. It is around the Emperor. So there may be a sick, elderly, wise person in your space. But for the most part, the Death card is the ending of something. It's the ending of a behavior, a job, a home, a relationship. It's the ending of something. So you do have that, and it's right next to this, or it's on the line of this, the death card. So gather up your strength. Don't run away from the hard communication, and it looks like things will right themselves a little bit more, but it does require some input and some truth on your part to be given to change this kind of ball that's going in the opposite direction that really needs to go to work for you. Temperance is finding its balance, finding your balance. That is in the past position, so it looks like something you have embraced in the near past. Finding out things that work. Letting go of the ones that don't. You have one foot in the water here, so it looks like you have one foot in the path. These red wings are lighting up for me, so it looks like there's some frustration from the past that you have allowed yourself to release. You can't change anybody else, but you can certainly change the way that you're approaching someone or a situation. So it looks like you have incorporated a lot of those changes that you made over the last couple of months into your process, into your daily life, and just learning how to relieve some of the stress to find your own balance. This triangle, this orange triangle is lighting up for me. So it feels like when I ask Spirit for clarity, please, clarity for Gemini. This is healing of your heart. The healing of your heart. Orange can be a very healing and soothing color. So that is what Spirit is telling me. You are healing your heart from the either the sins of the past or the pains of the past, the relationships of the past. Could be the current relationship that you are in, and you have embraced some healing in your heart. And you're able to move forward a little bit more. Baby steps. I know it's baby steps, so it could be 2 steps forward, 1 step back, which is probably what you're experiencing, Gemini, because you do have this huge shift in the way that you are processing your interpersonal relationships, how you are processing or internalizing or no longer wanting to internalize emotions. So it looks like you have really taken a step up into your spiritual havingness and finding balance for yourself. Just continue on that. I know it can be a little challenging, but you're halfway there. You're really doing the work. As long as you keep moving forward, it doesn't matter at the pace that you move forward. Sometimes going quickly into new decisions kind of creates more problems. So that's fine if you need to think about all these changes and the communications that you need. Just don't stay in that stagnant place. Please push forward through those fears, gather your strength, and have those conversations that you've been wanting to have. And it does look like something is shifting. There's a lot of work energy in here. So it looks like one of those communications need to be at work. Could be with a boss, could be reallocating or redistributing the workload. But there is a change coming in it, and it looks like that it is really balanced and waiting for your input and your communication. Here, the 3 of Pentacles here, it's a wonderful card. It's card of not only reflection, but collecting information, kind of taking a step up into your spirituality. And for many of you that may be religious or not religious, just stepping into your power, making your words sing true, and speaking your truth a little bit more. And for those of you that are on the spiritual path, probably gathering more information, reading books, doing meditation classes, figuring out what grounding is, things like that. So it looks like baby steps and really starting to incorporate your hopes, dreams, and desires into your everyday life, but you're gathering information right now, and you will continue to do so. The future card, kind of, this is one where isolate yourself. It can be for a good isolation, or it can be, self-imposed, but it looks like you need to step back from the situation that's a bit tumultuous, gather your words before you offer them for resolution. But it looks like you're really sitting on some information and kind of trying to sort it all out, finding some alone time, finding some isolation. But be careful, Gemini, not to stay in that isolation. I know you guys overthink sometimes. So, if it's stuck in your head and it's mulling around and not going anywhere, it doesn't look like resolution, start writing it down. Start making it more physical for you and removing it from your head onto a piece of paper. You can throw that piece of paper away if you'd like, or use it for future. But don't stay in that kind of passive overthinking place for too long. It is necessary kind of to figure out what direction you're going to go, how you're going to present these words, or change the situation. So just taking a little rest from the hustle and bustle, as long as it's not an isolating action, but just one for resolving what you need to resolve. The basis of all this is the King of Pentacles. And the King is an exalted fellow. He is usually someone about over 40, or someone extremely wise if they are not over 40. It is an earth sign. It's a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. And this looks like this is a mentor. This feels like someone who has good advice, that is in the highest of integrity. The pentacle is lighting up for me. So this is someone that you need to speak to around how you make money. Could be a boss, could be like the CEO, but there is someone of great wisdom that has some information for you to increase your money, or has some advice for you about how to pursue making more money. Could be the boss that you need to talk to about getting a raise, or putting in for that promotion. There requires some effort on your part, though. When the pentacles are present, not only is it money, it's earth, it's movement. So it requires some interaction on your part and your effort. So to start the ball rolling. But this is someone of great integrity that it doesn't feel like they will steer you wrong. And it's right next to the Hermit card. Now the Hermit card also is kind of one of isolation. You have two of them next to each other. And I know that's kind of one side of Gemini, is to really go inside of yourself, isolate yourself. So be aware of the isolation tendencies. Not saying force yourself to do anything that's uncomfortable or unpleasant, but if it's a lovely day, just get out, get some sunshine on your head. It will kind of alleviate some of the overburdening of the mental round and round merry-go-round that a lot of air signs kind of embrace when they are working through an issue. Sometimes just getting out in the world, you can still think and meditate, but just not isolating yourself as much. But the Hermit dictates there is a decision to be made, and there is it's right next to the contemplation card and the isolation card. So yes, there's a decision to be made. It may be the ending of something. It right next to the relationship space. So many of you may be looking at either ending a relationship or beginning a relationship, changing a relationship. So, and the Death card usually dictates a very large ending, or an ending that you expected or unexpected. It could be expected or unexpected, but there is an ending of something. And I tend to feel that it's either on the work relationship. It can be a one-on-one interpersonal love relationship, because a love card is right here. And for those of you that haven't had a love relationship in your space, you have been really opening the last couple of months, getting ready to even look at allowing someone else in your life. And for those of you in the relationship space, it looks like some of that is changing. Using your words, changing some dynamics that haven't really worked for you for quite a while, and really embracing the newness of the changes in your relationship. The 2, I'll speak more of this. The 2 is balance. It also can depict if you do not find the balance. 2 of Cups is emotion. So it's an emotional, can be emotional balance that you're coming into, or an emotional unbalance that you're coming into with the Death card right there. But something is changing within relationship space and your ideology around relationship space, whether you're in one or not. The lion and the medical insignia is lighting up for me. Spirit, give me more clarity for the insignia for Gemini. Yes, this depicts if you do not make those changes or speak your words, or really start to make choices that benefit you as well as your partner, whether it's a love relationship, work relationship, friend relationship, there needs to be more of a balance, distribution of workload, or just more of a balance within a relationship, or looking for a balanced relationship if you don't have one. But that can create dis-ease in your body. This medical insignia is lighting up for me. So make sure and speak your truth. Don't let it sit in your heart and in your head for too long. Because if we don't let stuff out of our body reacts to it and creates dis-ease, whether it's a cold or something grander, whether it's a heart problem. But if we keep all of this stuff bottled up inside and don't speak our truth, our body, it's a machine and it will react to what we're telling it to do. So if we're telling it to hold on to this stuff and it is sitting in the pit of our stomach, you could be creating like an ulcer or something. So make sure and speak your truth, really truly let go of that stuff. So you do have the card of really holding on to things that do not matter anymore. So take a look at it honestly and see what really benefits you and what you can release. But it looks like you're aware of these things. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will create dis-ease. It's just a warning. So you know what you have to do. Step into your power. Speak your words of truth. The Emperor is right here. It is next to the Death card. So for those of you that do have an elderly or aged person, they may be transitioning. It doesn't look like it's a surprise to you, but they may be transitioning into the other side. But it also, for those of you that do not have sick elders, it does also feel like asking for advice. Don't be afraid to step out of the situation. Ask a wise person that's either experienced this or has the wisdom of age on their side. Our elders, they're not just people that we care for and Alzheimer's, they have a lot of information in there. So don't be afraid to step into your power, ask for help for someone that has been encouraging, loving, and has not steered you wrong. You have 2 wise cards here. So that tells me, Gemini, step out of that stuff for a minute. Ask for some help, ask for some clarity, and for some honest communication from your elders and your wise tribe. The Ace of Wands is just on the other side here. And aces I like to call God cards or karma cards. That is when you are on your path and you have made some of those very difficult decisions, Gemini. And, it takes a while to incorporate a lot of our changes. It could take months to really fully adopt the newfound skills and the newfound ways or the new releases. So the Ace of Wands are fire, wands are action, wands are creation. So it looks like something that you've been working on or thinking about is being moved from the thought process into the manifestation process. For those of you that are a little older, it may be manifesting a retirement, or it may be manifesting movement, a house, or a new family member, changing your view, a trip, but it looks like something big and grand that you've been thinking of is getting closer and closer and closer to your reality as you make these changes that have really been beneficial for you. Just holding on to that stuff in your heart and not moving past it and moving forward has kind of been a little stagnant for you. But since these last couple of months, you've been really powering through those changes, really being brave. I want to let you know, Gemini, I have seen you make those changes, and I'm so happy for you. Also, I wanted to let you know, thank you so much for all your communication. You guys were really into communicating with me this last month for January's reading. Some positive, some negative, but I am open to all. So I really appreciate your validation and your moving forward through that kind of the silent Gemini part and embracing more of your communication. This lunar eclipse will affect that communication a little bit over the next 2 to 3 months. So make sure your words ring true and with love and kindness. But you are solidly on your path, Gemini, and it looks like a lot of those hard things, a lot of the hard conversations that you've had over the last month or so have benefited you. Immediate gratification sometimes takes too long, I like to say, if you're impatient. But you will now start to see the reaps of those rewards little by little by little, because you have the 10 here. So you're going to start seeing some of the rewards. You have a 9 here. So you're right at the end of some cycles. Doing a great job, Gemini.